Ohtani is done. The Angels are done. But is Ohtani done with the Angels? Andy, where are we at here in regards to Ohtani's free agency, and in particular with the Mets and Yankees' potential pursuit of him?
Well, those teams are just waiting to find out if this is a realistic thing to hope for. Both the Mets and the Yankees are under the impression that Ohtani doesn't want to play in New York. That is a real thing. That's not just some media rumor. The teams believe that. However, they're going to try to find out for themselves and make sure that that's still the case. And they're looking forward, I'm sure, to having the opportunity to finally talk to him directly as a free agent. This is a difficult player to read the tea leaves on. He doesn't communicate his intentions to many people. Nobody really knows what he's going to do. But I can tell you that the Mets, sort of a little bit of a step back they're taking in free agency. That doesn't include Ohtani. If Ohtani wants to come to the Mets will be heavily on Ohtani. And the Yankees have been trying to pursue him in a trade, as Brian knows, for quite a while now. So I would expect both teams to make sure that this guy won't come to New York. And if he will, then they'll both be on him. And
just for clarification purposes, the injury to his pitching arm, that's not going to scare the Mets off? Or the Yankees, for that matter?
I don't think so. In a totally rational world, you'd be like, okay, he's going to take a hit on his contract because obviously he can't pitch next year. You don't know what it's going to be going forward. But the fact is, this guy's so desirable. The Dodgers have been saving for him. The Mets have been coveting him. The Yankees, as we just said, have tried to acquire him. His market will probably get frenzied and irrational to the point where I don't think he takes much of a hit because of the potential of Tommy John. I really don't.
That, to me, is shocking. All right, JJ, are there enough red flags for you to get nervous with giving Ohtani a long-term deal?
I'd definitely be nervous because I don't know if he's ever going to be the same pitcher. And there are major questions about how Shohei Ohtani is going to transition after this next UCL injury. Look, we know he's marketable. We know what a stud he is. We know what a unicorn he is. He's this larger-than-life figure in Major League Baseball. So you look at some of the awful contracts that have been given out throughout baseball, there is definitely an argument that the Yankees and the way they print money, the Mets, and because of the fact that you have Steve Cohen and the way he prints money, that guess what? You can bite the bullet. You can take the risk on this sort of particular deal. But note full well, there are major concerns, not about what Shohei Ohtani is going to be as an offensive player. I don't think that's going to be an issue and a problem at all. Now, he's a DH. That's another issue for the Yankees, who have like 10 zillion DHs, but that's a story for a different day. I don't see the Yankees ending up with Shohei Ohtani after they gave Aaron Judge a gazillion dollars last year in the offseason. I think it's far more likely he ends up with the Mets. He will hit, he will rake, but from a pitching standpoint, major concerns.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's most likely that Ohtani does not wind up with the Yankees. I always thought it was a long shot, even when they were discussing that. I think that you're right. They just have too many DHs there. And if you have Giancarlo Stanton under contract, jamming up the DH spot, where are you going to put Ohtani, who part of his value is the pitching, and I don't know if he's ever going to pitch again, guys. Right. I don't know. I can't guarantee you that. So I think that his value to the Yankees is lower now.
Well, here's the one thing, though. We don't know. The biggest key in this whole thing, okay, couple of facts. Mets have the most money, right? So if Steve Cohen is going to make the highest offer, which he probably could do, and Ohtani wants the most money, then maybe he would come to the Mets. Maybe Ohtani doesn't want to come to the East Coast, period. Maybe Ohtani wants to be a Yankee, and that would get them in play because they're not going to win a bidding war.
But here's the one thing with the Yankees. He had an opportunity to go there in 17.
Right, yeah.
They rolled out the red carpet for him, and he didn't want to go there.
They wouldn't even listen to the presentation from the Yankees. They didn't want to hear it. So unless something has drastically changed in the past few years, and maybe going to Southern California and playing meaningless baseball, maybe that's part of it. But he had his chance to be a Yankee. They went hard for him. He didn't want it.
And that's the same issue, obviously, facing the Mets. That's a New York thing. And none of the finalists for Ohtani back then in 17 were east of Chicago. So that's a strong indicator of where he wanted to be then. He hasn't spoken about where he wants to be now, but that's what the teams have to go on.